Welcome back, data leaders and Python learners, to Insight Builder channel. Revolutionize your Python backend with Fast API. How to build API with Python? Fast API has been one of my favorite libraries in Python. It is extremely user-friendly. So stay tuned, guys. This video is going to be very interesting. The problem we are facing. Making the APIs, the application programming interfaces to our data using Python. In order to write the server, in order to serve our data, we need to first of all write the program that serves our data. The internet, where the APIs are going to be deployed, only works with JSON format. And these APIs also have to work with the browsers. Browsers also talk only JSON. So whenever any kind of API code that we write, the final output has to be JSON. This is a challenge, and only for this challenge to be tackled, the libraries in Python has been written. Couple of libraries are Flask, Django, and Fast API. Among them, Fast API provides a very different kind of a benefit. Fast API can get you up to speed with API endpoints in no time. So we will see that in the next video where I explain it with example in the Jupyter Notebook. You will be surprised that yes, you can write API code in the Jupyter Notebook and you can deploy using Jupyter Notebook also. So stay tuned for that. In this video, we will further understand what are required. In order for the API to work, there has to be a data source. And to read from the data source could be a database or it could be a big data table. In order to read from these locations, there has to be a kind of a glue code. It is called as Object Relational Mapping, or OR. That is provided by SQL Alchemy. This SQL Alchemy library, I had discussed about it in the earlier video. So if you have not watched it, do watch it. I will tag that video also in this as a playlist. So take a look at that. And also there should be some kind of a login process, and it should have an easy interface to test the functions. Because, okay, let me further explain, and then I can go to the testing part. Here, to get the Fast API, all we need to do is do pip install Fast API, and it gets installed. After that, having Pydantic and SQL Alchemy is going to help you a lot. If you are not aware of Pydantic and SQL Alchemy, do take a look at my earlier videos. You can get a very detailed introduction for Fast API from this link. Do take a look, and this video will provide you the steps that is required for creating the API server. Also, the guest starrer of this video is PsychoPG2 library and UVCon library. PsychoPG2 takes care of connecting the Python code to Postgres database server. UVCon is the library that helps to run the Fast API server. So these two libraries are supporting role players in this for Fast API servers. To create the Fast API, we have to create an API object. The API object will be used as decorators to create the API endpoints. Using the supporting libraries, the database can be queried, and the data from the database can be sent to the front end. That is the purpose of the Fast API endpoints. In fact, these endpoints are nothing but functions, pure Python functions. When we add the Fast API object as decorators, the functions become API endpoints. How does Fast API help? What happens in case of Fast API is there is an ecosystem around Fast API. So the Fast API server itself is a very simple file. It's a simple Python script, but in that script, a lot of systems, additional supporting systems get imported, like the database is connected with using ORMs, and the web interface, in order to test it and in order to run it, UVCon is used. Like this, we have to build the server. When it comes to endpoints, FastAPI provides get, post, update, and delete endpoints. And you can design the data based on what you are going to do, whether you are going to get it, post it, or change anything in the database. You can design the ORM and the validator objects in your Python code as per your requirement and as per the database table. Finally, to deploy it, you can use the UVCon or GUniCon. There is one more library which we are not going to touch in this video, but you should know this, that there is a library called GUniCon that can also be used for deploying. After the API is deployed, then you can connect it to DNS, and Nginx library can be used to work with HTTPS proxy. Okay, I am giving a very high level view of what exactly happens in API deployment. Okay, this video is to, like all my other videos, to bring you up to speed on what is the process that goes into the deployment or in the application of a library. After this, if you really think, okay, I want to explore more, just go ahead and search in the internet about the library, about how it is being used. You will get a lot of information. It is about, making you find that, okay, do you like any of these libraries? Do you want to work more? So like that, I want to introduce. And if any of these libraries you like, you want to explore further, do let me know. I can also explore it in that way. And if you have any doubts about any of these processes that I'm explaining, do leave a comment out. I will be getting back to you as soon as possible. Let me go further. So right now you must have seen that we have come to the slide where we explain the process. So we have to first of all design the API endpoint based on the data and ensure that we put functions to check our credentials. And then we need to also ensure that our code works on the data with the database and as well as with the front end. So here DB is database and FE is front end. And finally, we need to deploy it on the server using GUniCon on Nginx. What we will be doing next, we will be going to the Jupyter Notebook and we will be seeing how to deploy how to design the FastAPI endpoints and using SQL Alchemy ORM and Pydantic validator library. And we will see how these things interact with the live database. We will be seeing all these things in the next video. So if you like this video and if you want to share it with others, do share it with others, and do subscribe to my channel. So once you subscribe and click on the bell icon, any new videos I upload, you will get immediate notification. In that way, you will get all the information as soon as possible. And in the next video, we will dive into the example where I explain the FastAPI. After that, I will be going into one of the most important library in Python for big data. It is called PySpark. I will be delving deeper into that library. But in the meantime, stay tuned for the video on FastAPI, where I will explain about how to implement FastAPI using SQL Alchemy and Pydantic ORM. Till then, stay tuned. Have a nice time.